to accept those minutes. Bill? Oh, and Darlene to second. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Next item is declarations of conflict of interest. I have none. Okay, we did have a couple of presentations and I can't see Kippa.
No, he's not,
Oh.
I'm not there, so we'll just defer until the next meeting.
Okay, Kippa's an apology for today.
Yes.
Okay, we'll defer Kippa.
Sorry,
for his.
keep on messaging Kevin that he is ready.
Oh, is he in the Teams? The Teams link is in the meeting.
He says he's in the waiting room.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll try and get him on. Oh, all right, we'll just get Kippa on. What we might do is, while we're trying to connect with Kippa, we might change the order of the presentations, and we might get Alva. We'll move Alva up and we'll defer Kippa until after Alva's presentation. Are you okay, Alva, to shuffle? Kia ora.
Where you can hit hit the buttons. Like to.
Kia ora koe.
Kia ora tātou katoa, tuatahi he mihi aroha ki te whare e tūnei o tūhaungangi, te marae waho nei, te marae o tōku koraua, Whula Conroy me tōna mama Ngāre Te Wikapi. Tōroa he mihi hoki ki o whānau and kia tātou katoa. So at our last meeting I provided a bit of an overview of some of the work that I was involved in as a contractor to the Western Bay of Plenty District Council and on behalf of Te Maru o Kaituna River Authority. So this is a bit of an update on where I've got to. So as a reminder, my brief of works was to look at identifying some priority sites or areas to enhance river access, whether it be for waka launching, swimming, mahinga kai. And we know that there's many sites that we're keen to enhance river access. And so one of my goals was to identify, where do you start? Where are some priority areas where we can throw some resourcing, some pūtea towards? A couple of things for this is that I ended up identifying some areas with multiple sites. This enables a bit more of a holistic view in relation to our kaupapa in relation to this project. And then the scope looked at Kaituna River from about Paingarua downstream and widened the scope, so includes all of Waiari. So kia ora for that, Joelle. So over the last, what's it been, 2 months, I've built a bit of a picture based on going out on site, looking at a lot of our historic maps, and conversations with people, I guess, just to get a feel for the areas where people are using the awa, some of the constraints to access, and also some ideas. The ideas are actually the gold. Okay, so where I got to. So there's an assortment of sites, which I'll show the map, but I've identified 3 priority areas, which I'll go through each of them in turn. So the first one, which we're calling at the moment, Otu Matawhero. So this is the Bell Road area, just on the margin of Te Tumu and the Kaituna River. Second, Waiari Landing, which is no surprise. And third, the Waitangi area, so once again, no surprise. I think the latter 2 areas have been looked at as a priority area for some time, so I think part of this work is to work out, well, what's those next steps? So I'll go through each in turn. Oh my gosh, I don't know. So this is just an overview map showing some of those areas where I've identified some potential work that could be, some enhanced work that could be needed. It doesn't include all, because as we know with the Waiari, there are further sites upstream, and this map is not big enough. So I'll speak to those priority areas. So initially, one of the areas to look at was Bell Road, the boat ramp. But as I looked into it, we've got a lot of areas of significance in that over there. So we're at Karakapa, Pārua, Kopua, and there's also multiple blocks of land. So it's not just the district council reserves that you need to be thinking about the connectivity to. So as we know, we've got our wetlands. That's land owned by Tapueka and Ngāti Whakaui. We've got a future wetland coming with Karakapa, potentially, as well as a couple of land blocks that have recently been purchased by the regional council and the district council. So this presents some opportunities of actually looking at the area as a whole, not just upgrading the boat ramp. So a couple of things is, the next step, there needs to be a concept plan developed for that area. So this is where you're looking at identifying the specifics. What are those areas that need to be enhanced for access, for swimming, those connectivities to the various walkways and cycleways within that area. Goes without saying, recognition of cultural context and the historic context of that wider area. Opportunities for new wetlands along the way, picnic facilities and potentially wharepaku. But this is the point of doing the concept plan, is looking at, well, where might that go and for what reason. Must be an approach with tangata whenua and with multiple agencies, so district council, regional council, and I imagine DOC may want to be involved. In the meantime, it is my understanding that there will be some work coming in the next 6 months or a couple of months around safety and amenity enhancements. So we know there are some issues there at the moment with some nefarious behaviour, and so there are some plans proposed by the district council to install things like judder bars, CCTV, I think that's in place already, and then some basic enhancements in the meantime. So I'll give you an idea of what the concept plan idea is. So this was the concept plan that was developed for Taiparia Reserve at the end of Ford Road. So this is where you're looking at an area as a whole and working out where you might put stuff or where you might do stuff. So this is something that would be great to see for that particular area. Now there's a big but, and this is the case for all of these areas. There are a gazillion kilometres of stop banks within this area, and to an extent this may limit what you can do in these areas, or it may create, red tape is not the word, but there may be additional authorities and permissions you may need to get. So for this reason, I'd recommend that the Regional Council is involved as part of a working group, just to make sure it is all in line with their bylaws. Alright, next one, Waiari Landing. So to me, this isn't just the bridge area, but we need to be looking all the way from Tawaki Pito Marae downstream to the rail bridge, because there's different reasons. Your access would be for different reasons. So for our two marae there, a lot of our access may be for mahi no kai and other cultural practices just downstream of the bridge on the right bank. Just highlighting there are other things happening in the area, so we also have the existing Te Ara Kahikatera walkway. There's discussions that Ngāti Tuhiki are having around the return of land, ex-Waka Kotahi and District Council land, as well as highlighting that at the moment, from what I've seen on site, there's a lot of swimming happening at the bridge and at the rail bridge. So highly used is probably the key thing. I also want to acknowledge that there's been some amazing recommendations through this group alone with the cultural recognition report. It's provided a lot of ideas of what our whānau would like to see in that area. And on top of that, Council Delhi had presented to Te Maru Kaitana, highlighting some of the issues around access and erosion as well. So we're not starting from scratch, is what I'm trying to say. Here we go. A couple of challenges with these areas. The area, this part of the way, has some significant erosion issues, and it's getting worse. And I think this is an area that needs to be worked through with the Regional Council with regards to bank stability. What I'm noticing with the banks falling in is the awa's getting shallower. And so it's actually, places aren't great for swimming, and it's affecting the access to the awa. Secondly, there are some limitations due to the stop banks in the area. Once again, this may limit what you can put down there, or the activities you do. So this is once again one of these projects where we need to be involved with the Regional Council engineers, just to help guide us around what we can put and where. Alright, opportunities. So it is a well-used area. When I went down there last week and there were kids swimming, and the one thing I asked them, what do you guys need to get down to the awa easily, because it's really silty and muddy, and they said steps. So some of the solutions may be quite straightforward. So it's working out some really easy practical solutions that aren't going to affect the stop banks. So other areas that have come up, Otaiparia Reserve. This is the existing access for the Makatū Hoiwaka. So they were really keen on some enhanced access. It's very silty where they are. Main thing is that the existing concept plan includes an upgrade of this area, and it's budgeted for. So once again, it's the value of having these concept plans so you can determine the budget requirements. Muruwharau, or Kainan's Landing at the end of Kenana Road, had come up. This was a historic landing site back in the day. And this is the one, I think it's not a high priority, but it would be a great, it's a council reserve, I forgot to mention. But I think this would be one to park until such time as there's greater connectivity to this area, if that makes sense. So on the radar, but just not yet. Other sites that had come up, Maungarangi Road, the photo's terrible, so there's some easy enhancements you can do around here to access the sites, and parking is a bit of an issue as well. So once again, Te Mātou Road, so we've had whānau that are keen to enhance access from the marae down to the river. Once again, further discussions needed as to what that might look like. Similar issue. What? I don't want to restart.
Yeah. The X off the top in the right corner.
Ah, here we go. There we go. A few people had talked about the water treatment at the water treatment plant site. Apparently some really amazing swimming up there. It's really pristine. Obviously, further work's needed to work out where and what that might look like and if it's possible. And once again, acknowledging there's still these other sites that were in your cultural recognition report. So what I'm trying to say is there's a couple of the high priority areas where concept plans will be needed. These other ones won't be forgotten. They may be progressed directly with some of the reserves department or other, they may actually be progressed faster. Before I finish, I want to introduce Jason, who will come and introduce himself. So when I step back from this project in the next 6 or so weeks, he will be taking over and I'll let you.
Kia ora koutou, ko Jason Crummer Taku Ingoa. I am the Senior Recreation Planner at the Western Bay Tauranga District Council. I have the privilege of working with our policy and planning team. So you're linking in with Alva's work here from once we get the final feasibility reports, then I can look to present those findings to our elected members and just seek some direction from them and see how we can progress, what priority areas we can progress, and just make decisions that way. But it's been a long time coming, being able to attend one of these hui. So they eventually made it, and looking forward to more engagement with this group in the future, particularly around the river access.
So of course, Jason will be available as the main point of contact, particularly with regards to implementing your cultural recognition report. It's probably the key thing, just to know we'll keep moving. So I'll go back a couple of slides showing the whole area. Happy to take any questions, comments.
Any questions for Alva? John?
This may be a bit premature, but in terms of the Bell Road site view, I noticed one of the actions you had up as being upgrade of the boat ramp. Just wondered what the scale of that was in mind, because I don't want that to overwhelm the other things that you want to attend to there.
Absolutely. So that came about from, I was reading a report by, I can't remember who it was, who had done looked at the condition of the boat ramp, and I think one of the readings from the report was that it's in poor condition. So it may be up to whoever's part of the working group, whether that's just a base of repairs as opposed to making it
upgrade.
fancy pants or anything, so it could be just basic repairs.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, thank you.
I just have one question about when will we receive a report about the 6 areas identified for the waiari? When will we receive that?
So my next step, it'll be after the Te Maro Kaitana River meeting on the 24th, so I'll have the report complete. Yeah. And so if you'd like, within my report, I can talk about those 6 areas. And
You mentioned in your swimming. I just want to explain to our councillors present that we probably haven't swum down that end of the river since the wastewater treatment plant was put in there. And I'm going back to my childhood years, was probably the last time I swam down there. Because of that association, as soon as that wastewater treatment plant went in there, that went our association with that part of the other. So I'm not too sure about the swimming down there. And just a comment about the Waitani reserve area. It's cool you want to talk to the hapu, but I don't want to stand on the toes of the landowners?
Yep.
So
So landowners first.
Yes,
So
please.
landowners first.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
I like
Yes.
Beautiful.
The Weepiha family and the Upper Middle family, so the principal ones.
Beautiful.
Helen is quite correct.
Awesome.
I'm kind of giving liberties here, but that's fine. Thanks, Albert. I do have a question as well. Just in terms of those areas,
Yeah.
does regional council have any data on or information on water quality from a swimming perspective?
They will. They will. So I can include that in the rep. Yeah.
That'll just help with, is it a swimmer or is, the E. coli and other things in the water. That would be helpful. Thanks.
Can I just clarify exactly how much collaboration you've had so far with each council on this? And obviously you've worked out who owns what land, but
Yep.
has there been much more about what's feasible from our parcels as
fronting up with
Kia ora, any other pathway for Albert?